Hi, everyone. I am Andra and Annette, and this is my co-host, CJ Boyd, and we are here from Real Life of the Entrepreneurs. And today we want to talk about managing expectations because your health is your wealth in so many true aspects. So I just did a live on managing expectations and talking in one of my groups and talking about that journey, how we really don't set realistic expectations for ourselves. And I'm kind of doing so much, and I expect myself to be omnipresent in all of them. So, in order to manage my expectations, I got to kind of say it's okay. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be everywhere or omnipresent. I just have to show up. And sometimes that's really hard when you have, I mean, you have a family, I have a family. My daughter's getting married soon, so I got all these things that are important. My daughter wants to have pizza today. I'm like, I gotta fit this in. My husband said to me, Jackie wants to know if we can go for pizza later. And I was like, where am I gonna find the time? But you do have to find time for all of these things or learn how to set your priorities because your
Yeah.
family's important, your business is important, but you're at the center of all of that. So you are the most important. And when we let people down, we feel like we're letting ourselves down. And that's not true always.
That's really landed for me this morning. I think for me, it's you know, you're like you said, you want to be omnipresent, you want to show up all the places. And sometimes I think the word overwhelm gets in my head because I'm thinking, I see you everywhere, and I'm like, oh, okay, I want to do this and I want to do that, and I want to be seen and I want to be heard and I want all these things. But it's like when life, hits you like with a sledgehammer in the forehead, you're like, I don't know what to do. And I think it's really important to like come back to basics. And like you said, I'm the center of my business. And if I'm not taking care of myself and I'm just, letting everything slide for myself, I let myself down, but I also let down the people that I'm committed to, you included when we do these shows. When I say I'm going to show up at 8 o'clock and it's at least 7 o'clock, and I instantly, when I read your message, I was like, oh my God, I messed up again. And I was instantly like, oh, I let her down. And so I think for me, it's holding grace for myself, realizing that I have all these things going on, and the dynamic in my house has changed a little bit. And I'm just like, I have to prioritize everything that's going on. And I have let my health be on the back burner. Like it's coming to fruition right now. It's like I was in that space where I'm like, I have to be concentrated on my health and do all the things. And I was like doing the 75 hard, and I was working out every day, and I was watching what I eat. And I literally have not had the energy to work out for like over a month. And so when you were saying that, I'm like, come back to yourself. Everything else, you can't give 110% to everybody else and give nothing to yourself. And so I am, coming home to that. I'm not having clear good expectations for myself, but I'm still expecting myself to do everything for everybody else. And I'm just at the point where I'm like, I don't know how to give to everybody else if the proverbial empty cup. And that's where I'm at, like right now.
But you hit the nail on the head. So there was I just did one of my sessions in a journey home. It was 6 minutes because that's what I could afford to give that show this week. And I said, wow, this is the shortest video I ever did. But my message was a 6 minute message. I don't have to spend 45 minutes in there to get my points across. So, and it was about saying yes and learning to say no and setting clear boundaries. And that didn't take me longer than 6 seconds. And I find that in my life, whenever I get away from myself, it's because I start becoming that yes person again. And it's work to commit to yourself and set those boundaries and stick with it. So I'm involved with a lot of things, but there's other people involved in those too. And a lot of times they want all these details. And I'm like, listen, this is how it's going to go. If you
You
want
get
to
what you
add
get.
something, take it, add your stuff, and I'll rework it. Not a problem. Because some people need step-by-step instructions. I'm one of those people that I don't always necessarily know what I'm going to do. And then I say, well, you know what? I got a few minutes. Let me go live. Let me spend that time with my group.
Can I just say too, like when I first met you, you're like, I don't want to do live. I don't want to be seen. I don't wanna. And now it's like I get on there and it's like Andra and Annette is live. And I'm just like, holy shit. Just watching you evolve and grow and how confident you are. And the message is always spot on, crystal clear. Like you said, a 6-minute message, but you got your point across and you said what you needed to say. And I think the difference is it comes straight from your heart and people see that and you feel that. And it doesn't have to be 30 minutes of you telling them that. Your 6-minute message from your heart hits the spot every single time.
I think what's changed for me is I'm at the point where I care more, but I give shit less. And I know that doesn't make a lot of sense to people who are watching, but I always worked with people at the bedside. I'll always be that bedside nurse, right? So there was no stages or worrying about who cared. I knew that I was the best at what I was doing, and that I cared, which made me that much better at what I did. I wasn't like everybody else. And when I came online, I was so busy worrying about what everybody else thought that I wasn't showing up as myself. And recently I started doing these little 30-second tips because I want people to know I really am here to help. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to hide anything from you. I'm not trying to get you in a workshop or a program or anything. If you want to work with me and you don't know after 3 years that I'm out here that I care and I'm really, really here to help, then I don't really care.
Right. Then
Because
you're
the
not,
people,
that person's not your person, because if they can't see your heart, they can't feel how much you want to help, then that's not the person that's going to give their time or their energy to actually dial in and do the work that they need to do to work with you.
yeah, and at the same token, I do have to show up for the people that are listening. I did a message, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, and I said, I just want to share something with you. I have been giving you the answers this entire time. So if you have been watching my reels, my stories, it's all there in my message. So just because I'm not verbalizing something or showing up and saying something, everything I say is health. It's how to get healthy because that's what I've spent my life doing. I don't know anything else. If I had to get up and talk about race car drivers or what I do in my free time, I'd be at a loss because I don't have free time, don't know anything about race cars. But this is the one thing I know backwards and forwards. For you, it's water and what you do, right? So
Yeah.
when we show up, and it's not that I don't care, but the people that are listening, I have to focus on telling them what I think they need to hear because especially for health has become such sick care, and COVID made it worse because more people saw that it is a big business. So healthcare has always been a business. The last 20 years, it's gotten really, really bad. It's become all business. And when people saw that people were trying to get healthy, those people that were part of that sick care said, okay, we got to move over here now. Now we got to tell them how to get healthy. And they're
Yeah.
showing up everywhere, but with the same intentions. They're not trying to help them get better. They're just trying to get their attention back so they can pull them in. So
Yeah.
it's harder for me to be consistent and say, okay, you got to do this because I see what they're doing. They just want to sell them something,
Yeah.
you know? I don't believe that these weight loss pills they came out with, they just discovered that they're like overnight we got this weight loss and it helps cancer and it helps this and it helps that, but they've had these answers all along and they didn't give them to you before because it was
There was some
easier to
money in it
sell
there.
you that sick care,
Yeah.
to let you get sick and we'll get you that way. So even being in healthcare still saying that people are not going to be happy with me. and I don't care. I'm at that age where I would retire before I would say, okay, I'll retract because I'm here to tell the truth and I'm here to be myself, right? So managing expectations is that whole integrity piece.
Yeah.
It's that managing, like if I say something that's not who I am here, then I'm not meeting my own expectations anymore. So you do have to show up. And it seems like I'm everywhere. It's just the same message coming at you from all sides. So people see me more now because now people know who I am. I recently I told you that someone happens on my website and he wanted to do a piece on me. I'm not the most trusting person. People usually have something at the back end they're selling, then nobody really does nothing for nothing. At least I haven't met a lot of people like that, not in my life. So I didn't, he did this piece, we got together, we talked several times, and then I didn't hear from him for a month. So I said, oh well. And now I just got 300 sites that all have Andra and what she does. And I'm like, what? 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 That's me. So it's the same message, the same interview, but it's places that I really don't even live. I'm not in Australia or any of these places, but it's a way to say what I said to him about how important this is to me and that it really is just about honing into who you are, health, business, any of that stuff. So everybody thinks that if you're working on something different, it's a different plan. It's the same plan for health, for business, for managing your expectations, managing your time. It's being in the center of that and taking care of you.
I think what landed for me when you said that is you're in all these places that you're not, but your message is the same no matter what. And I find so many times that people get in their head, I have to change my message to speak to this person. I have to change my message to meet, get that person. And like you said, it's not being in integrity with who you are. So I've had coaches come to me and say, you need to switch and you need to do this and you need to change this in your messaging. And I'm like, what you see is what you get. This is who I am. I'm not going to change who I am because that's my whole message. And if I all of a sudden switch up and say, okay, I'm not going to be who I am and I'm not going to drop the F bomb and I'm not going to, not wear makeup and do my hair, whatever, that's who I am at my soul, at my core. And so that's one of the things too, I think is managing the expectation of me feeling like I need to change who I am to be able to be accepted, to be able to be seen, to be able to reach other people when in reality, my people are the people who are like, I want you to tell me like it is. I want you to say what needs to be said and I'll take it or leave it, whatever. And so that expectation, that's been something I've been struggling with too, is like, okay, I know who I am. I know the people I want to help, but do I need to change something to be able to reach more people? And it's just landing for me now. No, because that's an expectation that somebody else has for me, not that I have for myself. And if I'm going around trying to change myself to, be what everybody else wants me to be able to make money, then I've lost who I am as a person.
So this is what I would say because you're my friend and I love you. That anytime I listen to what people told me out here, I got further away from who I am at my core. And I wasn't comfortable. I was showing up angry or showing up thinking I had a responsibility to. And it was taking the love and the joy out of what I really do. There's a lot of people out there who might be good in marketing, who might be good at their individual piece, but there's those same people that are telling everybody to do the same things and everybody's different and those things are no longer working. And what I mean by working is those things are no longer selling. People understand that it doesn't feel right being in people's DMs. You do have to have conversations with people. You do have to invite people into your world and have a conversation. Hey, how are you? And get to know them and say, hey, I have a group here, where I teach this. If you're interested, I'd love to have you. but not like, you want to hop on a call?
Yeah, right.
I bet you're lost in your health. It's a very different scenario. People have always come to me because they've been at the worst time. It wasn't like I had to look for clients. So it is different being online. But if it's not connected to who you are, you have to realize that that's part of the sales psychology. So for every one cheerleader you have saying, go ahead, you could do this, just be you, there are 15 behind that trying to
Yeah,
confuse you to get you into their programs. And on this journey, you have to keep your eye on the prize, what that is for you. So if you have to have 3 meetings today, because you need so many people a month to keep you consistent in your business, then you make sure you're at those 3 meetings. Everything else you can do towards that end goal, that's fine. So for me, I use community to build my business because that's who I am at my core. I build communities. I grew up in a very strong community in the Bronx. And as the Bronx and those things change, I found that I missed that. So I created that for myself. I find that it helps a lot with networking. So, but it also helps you build other people. So I'm on a new venture, okay? Because I don't have enough to keep me busy. I've seen what everybody's out there selling, and it bothers me. I always fight for the underdog. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that really do have a lot to offer. There's nurses out there for the health that are having trouble because they're selling really bad advice out there. So people are so used to that bad advice, they think that's real, that they're not listening to that nurse over there. Some of them I love to death because I hear their heart in their words, right? And then there's people that really do know the whole business psychology and how to help you grow your business. And they help you do it in a real way, heart-centered, like Dan Harrison, Ron Medlin, people like that. And then there's those crazy people that just want to get you in for a buck. So my girlfriend and I are doing a workshop, grow your business without losing your shirt. And the whole intent behind that is to tell people that people aren't going to know who you are, what you sell, or what services you offer if you don't show up. And I wish I would have taken that advice 3 years ago because I was so busy in the content creation and the doing that nobody knew who I was because
yeah,
I kept preparing. What I was preparing for, I can't tell you because I got so much crap in my tool shed that I mean, enough for the next 10 years because fear, what people were telling me I needed to do, stopped me. And at some point, I had to say, how much longer are you going to let those voices in your head stop you from doing what you love?
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. What landed just right now for me is when you said you felt like you keep having to do. And for me, it's clicking that I need to stop doing and I just need to start being. I need to be who I am. I need to show up consistently, and share my message, share my heart. And that's what people need. That's what's going to bring people in that are going to be like, okay, I need to change. I want to change. You're my person to be able to help me do that. There's not some slogan or some fancy font or anything like that that I need to perfect in order for people to hear my message. And so for me, the unrealistic expectation is that I have to change who I am and my message to reach people when in reality I just need to my whole thing Queen by Design is come home to yourself and I need to dial back into that for myself so that I don't have all these expectations that I think I have to accomplish all these other things when in reality I just need to be who I am at my core.
I think that a lot of people are still listening to that old concept. So when we first come out on online and the game has changed, Eben Began was just live with all his people talking about, and Dean Graciosa and Tony Robinson about, oh, the game has changed. It changed a long time ago, but nobody affluent enough stood up there and said that because they were still selling their workshops and their events and stuff like that. But people have gotten very smart to that. So a lot of times when you're growing a business, people tell you to join groups of what you sell, get in there, give your information and stuff like that. And this is going to sound ridiculous to anybody who's in business, but I never participated in any of those groups because I always prioritized what was most important to me. And I felt very sleazy about going into a weight loss group when I did not need to lose weight and tell people this is what's working for me when I already had my answer. To me, that's lying by omission, and it's preying on people that are having a real issue. So, what I did and worked for me was I paid somebody to go into those groups for me because my time was more important to me. So I had someone go to those groups, and when they spoke about something that they knew that I helped with, they would tag me. Hey, Pounds to Go, this is perfect for you. And I would go in and read and give them their best advice based on what they were saying and where they were struggling. Wouldn't tell them where I was because they just tagged me at Pounds to Go. So somebody liked what I just said to them that gave them real value and real help. This is where I am. That's my brand.
Yeah. And that's the difference. So you go in and you provide the value, and you have a lot of people saying, "Don't give away the horse for free. Don't give away the cart, whatever." You provide the value. Those people like what you say. They come to you. Where in a lot of times people are in those groups and they're preying on this pain point of somebody who's like stressed out, needs to lose, 100 pounds, doesn't know which end is up, and they are preying on that, and they're instantly in their inbox, and they're like, "I have the answer. I know exactly what you need." How in the hell can somebody know what you need without having a conversation or knowing what you have to offer? I have so many people coming to me, tell me, "I know exactly what you need to do this, X, Y, and Z." And I'm like, "You've never even had a conversation with me. How would you know what I need?"
But a lot of those groups too are all people that are trying to grow their business. So there's even we meet Wednesdays. If you comment on something someone else is doing and you're cheering them on, you got 6 people sending you their link. And I'm like, join this group. We
No, I'm
support you.
just supporting you.
And they're not supporting you. They want your
No,
email, they want somebody to pitch to. And I just don't have time for that. I don't in my life, in my
no,
business, I don't have time for that. And I do want to give that value. I also don't believe that you can give away too much because if you're giving away knowledge, that's what it's meant for. If you don't share knowledge, it's lost, right? So
exactly.
you can never give away what you've acquired I mean, I'm going to be 58 years old. How could I possibly in a 30-second story give away what I've learned over all these years? You can't.
I agree.
And everything that you know is going to be different based on the person you're serving. So I
Exactly.
have people that come to me for digestive health, other people that come to me thyroid health. So if this person's coming to me for digestive and I'm over here talking about weight loss, I didn't give away the farm, right?
I know. Yeah,
And even if I did, this person is struggling because there's something they're having issues with, whether it's self-confidence, whether it's another illness that's keeping them stuck, whatever it is. So if you give away that value, people will see that you're value based. And anybody looking out there can see the difference between value based and money based. It doesn't take a rocket scientist, right? So if
agree.
somebody
Yeah,
wants you, they'll reach out to you. I forget to ask for the sale, because I'm so value based that I do forget that sometimes I am in a business. I don't have those book a call at the end of everything because I don't know. It just never sat right with me. I remember saying I needed more time in my business, and I hired someone um, to automate. I gave her all the stuff was mine. The only thing she was doing was scheduling things out. And she put book a call at the end of every reel. Book a
You're
call.
like, but I don't do that.
Share. But I was like, oh, that's probably something I should have put on there, you know. But then I saw it was on every one. And I was like, but that's not me. Stop that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Don't maybe do it once a week. Remind them that
Right.
I'm a business, but every day for 30 days, I don't think so. Because your message gets lost in that. So my name and who I am, all the different places I am, are at the ends of all my reel. So if anybody did want to book a call, that is my call to action. This is me.
Yeah.
So it might seem subtle, but I don't want to get hit over a sledgehammer.
But I think the subtlety of it is, people are so barraged by that. Everybody and their brother is a call to action at the end of every single post. And it's like sometimes I just want to go in and see somebody write an epic post and have great value and have great information and be like, oh, that tugged at my heartstrings and it made me think of something that I could do differently. But I don't want to be sold on every single message. And so the subtlety is that's part of your brand. Your stuff is in there, but like you said, you're not asking for the sale, and people know that, and they feel your heart, and they feel exactly what you're about, and that's the part that I think distinguishes you from a lot of the other people out there is that you are truly wanting to help people, but you also said that you forget to ask for the sale because you're so genuine in wanting to help everybody.
A lot of people don't realize that I funded my business all these years. So um there were times when I exceeded the costs of running a business by a lot, and other times where I broke even, and sometimes where I did exceptionally well, but it didn't impact on what I was out here to do. You know what I mean? I struggled in the beginning to even say,
Yeah.
I want to help you, but I do need to get paid. you know. I remember my first client, I don't think I sent them the bill, and and they were like, I didn't get a bill for you. And I think we were like 3 weeks into their program, and they told me.
Nice.
And I was like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I'll send that over today. So I mean, it happens, but I think it's important to just leave people with a few tips. So what I do to manage my expectations is understand that I am perfectly imperfect, that nothing I do is ever going to come out 100% the way I want it to, but to do it anyway. Say no more and yes to myself, because even growing this business, I still sometimes I'm overwhelmed because I am doing so much. And rather than saying, I'm a little overwhelmed, step back, I keep going. And then I hit that wall, and my creativity is impacted by that. You know, I just saw one of my reels the other day, and it was like, oh, and help. And I looked like I was falling asleep in the video, and I was like, hit a wall there, step back. Where are you in that? So you do have to be patient with yourself. You do have to be real with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day. A big business wasn't built in a day. If you're making 3 sales a month, next month you try for 4. The following month you try for 6. Legacy income does not come overnight. No matter how good the product is, no matter how good the services is, but you do have to be consistent and find a team of networks. So this event that we're doing is going to show people how to grow at the same time, just by helping each other. And it's a big win, because if I would have used this concept years ago, I'd probably be retired by now. Um, so tell the audience what you do to manage your expectations, or something that you want to incorporate more of to manage those expectations.
what I want to incorporate more is self-reflection and remembering just how far I've come, not thinking, I have to be at this level or I've set this expectation that I want to be at this level by this date. And if I'm not there, being in gratitude for number one, that I have the ability to build a global business, but I don't have to do it in the same level or the same way or the same speed as everybody else. So gratitude for where I'm at and where I've been, self-reflection and realizing that if I don't meet an expectation or something that I've set for myself, that I don't need to beat myself up about it. I get to have grace for myself. I get to talk to myself with love and respect, just like I would with any of my clients. So I think for me, it's just a matter of taking the temperature of where I'm at, realizing how far I've come, being in gratitude for the ability to continue to do that, and then just really giving myself that self-love and the grace that it's okay that you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Don't beat yourself up. Don't, stop. Don't quit. Don't just, that's not the stopping pattern because you haven't done it. So to just, for me to implement treating myself as good as I would anybody else, supporting myself on the same level that I do everybody else.
I love everything you just said. I'm just going to add one thing that's critical for me, and that's taking more breaks. I don't take enough breaks, just where I step away from my business for long enough to appreciate what I'm doing, where I step back and say, wow, look what I've created. That gratitude that you were talking about. Because where I am now is so different from where I was. If I looked at one of those videos or you looked at one, and I was watching some of our old videos the other
Oh,
day,
God.
and we are very different people today. That confidence is there. I was on a show recently and he said, wow, you're so confident. And I was like, confident. I'm just being honest. And then I said, oh, then I started saying, did I seem cocky? Oh my God, I hope. And then I said, who cares? Who cares? So you have to, so you have to find that gratitude. You have to find that time to rest, because if you're not rested, believe me when I tell you, it shows up in every aspect of your business. When you show up online and you're like, hi guys, I just want to talk to you about, people see it. If you're
Yeah.
not excited about how you help or what you do, why should somebody
Why?
else buy from you or be excited about getting your help? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm looking forward to our event on Thursday and watching us grow. We are so happy that you stop in and you talk to us. We're sorry it took so long since the last video, because we are managing expectations little these days. No, I'm just kidding. We just
True statement.
we get busy sometimes too, but you are really important to us, and we wanted to do this video today to tell you that it is really important to manage your expectations, and you can't be everywhere all the time. So just be where you can and be fully present. Any last words?
I think that you hit the nail on the head. Being fully present in the moment that you're in right now, not worrying about what you didn't accomplish in the past, not worrying about what you're supposed to be getting done for the rest of the day, that just be in this moment right now. Just breathe it all in, be in all enjoy and wonder of the anticipation that I know that I get to create amazing things, but I need to be present to be able to experience them and appreciate them right now.
Love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great day.